You must surrender and let go in 2026, and it's going to change your life. And I want to explain why. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it because 2025 has been one of the most surreal years of my life. And I'm going to start from the beginning and explain how 2025 changed when I let go. You can make 2026 the best year of your life. You can heal, manifest abundance, create the business that you've always wanted, overcome issues. I've been helping clients to do all these things, and I've done it in my own life. And I just want to give you a few of the biggest examples that I can show surrender and letting go has done to me. Firstly, before I do that, this is a channel where I simplify spirituality. And I've been helping thousands, if not millions of people with the views that I've been getting to change their lives and my clients. And we do it by keeping it easy. Let's talk about why letting go is so important. Well, we're taught about it in the Bible. We're taught to come to God. God is told to live in us all. So basically what we need to do is we need to let go of all the fear that surrounds us. And fear could be, in essence, the symbol of the devil, in essence, if you wanted to look at it from a biblical point of view. Fear is the devil, peace is God, and that is the connection. So when you can stop being so reactive to the outside circumstances of your life, you give space for God to come into that space. And it's changed my life. Let me start with end of 2024. Actually, at that point, I asked God to bring me something that will help me let go of the final parts of myself. And did he deliver or not? Yes, he did. He caused absolute turmoil in my marriage to the point where my wife asked us to separate. And we did for a few months at the end of 2024. That whole journey, I just worked on letting go of all the pain, surrendering all that emotion, letting it all pass through me, because that's the system. The system wants to do that. Just like it wants to get rid of waste food and waste water, it wants to get rid of waste energy. So I used it as an opportunity. Now, do not get me wrong. It was painful. It hurt. I struggled. I'm human just like you, but I let it go. And I'll never forget that time. And this catapulted me into 2025. I'll never forget the time sitting in a hotel because I'd taken my kids away. And I just felt the final parts of me let go. And I just visualized and claimed. You see, because I add letting go and surrender with gentle intention. And that's something that not all teachers of this stuff do. But I surrendered and then I intended. I have a wonderful, loving marriage with fun, joy, peace and harmony. And I just knew that something had changed. Well, the next day I went home and my wife said, I love you. I want to be together. I've missed you so much. And now we're the happiest in 2025 we've ever been. We've just celebrated her birthday in November. And it was around her birthday that unfortunately we had separated. So it's been a year and I couldn't ask for a more wonderful marriage. So I took that same principle into 2025. I surrendered in business. I surrendered with my health. I got in the best shape of my life. Actually put on a bit of weight since moving back to Spain. I've moved to Spain. I've been able to let God channel through me to help heal hundreds of people and heal their lives. And it's been so interesting because what has happened is every step of the way. So when we were coming through to about April of the new year, we were like, I think we're going to move back to Spain. The perfect house turned up at the perfect time for the perfect rent. And I just followed that guidance. And now I've been living here and enjoying that and traveling back and forth for work and doing these things. I also have clients that have been coming out of nowhere. Whenever I've wanted to work with a certain type of person, they show up. I surrendered to God and said only the right people work with me and they will find me, and if they work with me we're meant to work together and we're going to achieve wonders. And it's just been so groundbreaking and life-changing. I've had to face living in a new country, getting residencies for the children, dealing with family members connected family members that weren't working, and all of these things throughout it all, I just let go. And what did that actually do? Well, it allowed this YouTube channel to grow. It allowed me to be guided to people that I wanted to work with as clients, but also that I wanted to learn from. It's allowed my marriage to flourish. It's allowed us to travel to Paris and do all these things. And it's not about doing things. It's just that life is not painful anymore. You see, situations that came up, for example, like my fan. I brought my fan over from the UK to Spain, and I was going to have to take it back to get it MOT'd, and there was all this trouble. I needed to get it changed to Spanish plates. And by surrendering, by letting go of all my emotional turmoil, accepting where I was without judgment, a solution came up for that. So literally 2 days before the MOT was due, we got Spanish plates. So it was fine to drive legally, never a day off the road. I found this wonderful office out of nowhere. It just came by claiming and surrendering God's guidance. So what am I actually asking you to do? And how have I been able to grow a business, improve my marriage, spend more time with my family, and help clients to heal in such profound ways? Because I don't take any credit for it. You see, when you surrender, you stop being egotistical enough to think it was you that made it happen. The more I've let go, the more I realize I'm just a channel of the divine, a free-flowing channel of the divine. But every time I react, every time I respond, I humanize myself. I become more human and less powerful. So the more that I intend something, then fully surrender to life's process, it finds the quickest, most efficient, beautiful solution you could ever ask for. Now, it doesn't matter what your problem is. Actually, why don't you comment down a few things that you're going through, and I will write what I believe the fastest way to let go is around that in the comments. That's for those of you who have stayed here till this point. But I want to tell you, when you let go to God, you allow some intelligence, the same intelligence that has been making this earth spin around the sun on its axes, keeps gravity going, keeps thermodynamics going, keeps your body digesting food, your heart beating. There is an intelligence in this life. Why would you fight against it? But we fight against it because we have a preference. You see, all the time when I moved to Spain and everything like that, I spent a fortune. It was frightening. And then just last month, because of some investment, I've spent fortunes, and it's frightening if you do not know how to master your emotions and let go of fear. But the same as when business people have come to me with legal matters, and we start to give it to God and let go of our control and let go of our fear, and then the solution arises. For example, a client having a millions of dollar lawsuit against them was able to get it thrown out because of surrender. I've got another client who had metal in their body, but as soon as they forgave their father, they could walk again. What I'm trying to say is, what we tend to do from a spiritual point of view is we try and add gratitude on top of everything. But if you're living a life of fear, the only path that is going to save you is letting go to God. Through God, all things are possible. And then from there, when you've let go of that fear, it's so much simpler to reprogram your subconscious mind to a new idea. Now, let's think about the subconscious mind as the part of the mind that's connected to that divine intelligence, being your heart, digesting your food. It is all-knowing. It has the solution to everything, but we try and consciously control everything. The biggest lie you've ever been told is that you have control over circumstances. The reason Neville Goddard asked you to ignore circumstances is because there is no control of how and when something is going to unfold. But what you can do is you can intend it. And I've noticed the more I let go, the quicker things seem to unfold in a satisfactory manner. So if you are facing a health issue, facing a financial issue, facing a marriage issue, what you want to start to do is face yourself. Stop disguising your fears by going out and drinking your head off. Stop disguising your fears by going and spending money you don't have in a shop. Stop not facing your emotions and doing this, that, and the other. There's hundreds of things, isn't there? And start to actually face the issue head on without judgment, and face your emotions around it. Observe them without judgment. Let them start to pass through you. Then claim the guidance of God. If there is one prayer you can do for 2026 that's going to change your life, you can say this: Today is God's day, full of peace, harmony and joy. I'm divinely guided to success in all areas of life. My body is healing, my mind is focused, and my bank account is full of peace. For when there's peace in my heart, there's peace in my body and my health, there's peace in my bank account. There's peace in every area of my life. I am free. And you do it lovingly and knowingly, but you do it from a place of peace. Don't try and force emotions on top of your fears. Instead, start to face your fears and observe them without judgment. Start to let go, and you will finally find the freedom that you've been looking for. Hope this one was helpful, guys. I'm going to see you at the next one.